What's up everybody, hope everyone is doing really well. This video we're going to go through how to really find the super POIs that we can look to enter from in order to catch real good moves when keeping that high win rate. So when we have zones, right, we're simply looking to trade these zones, tap back, push higher, tap back, push higher. So every time we have a break of structure, boom, what does that give us? That gives us a zone. So we can draw our first zone from here to here. Now we want to try catch this higher low in an uptrend, of course. When we are pushing higher though on the lower time frame, it will look like this. We're going to have a lot more structure. Now we can look at mitigated versus unmitigated areas to tell us exactly where this will bounce. If we get confirmation in our exact areas, this is going to be an A++ setup, because price isn't randomly just going to come into your zone and bounce because it should. It needs to tap into something. We need to tap into some sort of demand to push higher. We can go down to the lower time frame and we want fresh demand. Demand that hasn't been tapped yet, demand that has proven to give a nice break of structure, or like demand that's proven to give a nice push up. So when price comes in, we get a little flip. We know this is a high probability trade, that price is going to continue higher. And it's the same thing on a downtrend. So if this is our higher time frame structure, you know that we broke structure here. So we draw a zone and we look to catch this lower high that will give us a lower low. However, how do we know where this lower high will be put in? Well, on our lower time frame, right, we can look for specific POIs within here that make sense for price to tap into and reject. We might have no POIs, which tells us to leave this zone. There's no area of supply in here, price is likely just going to continue higher. You'll get a little change of character, it'll just be a fake one to facilitate a zone, bullish zone, and then continue higher. So you have to have a nice clean POI, and you want confirmation in that POI for it to be an A++. But enough of me yapping. Let's go over to the chart. So we can start with the 15-minute. I'll just start with the 3-minute for this example. It's the same thing. So this is today. Literally a couple hours ago, we had a break structure here, and we had a low here. So according to the structure, we can draw a zone from here to here. And now we can look for price to boom, boom. Our job is to what? Catch this higher low. That's going to give us a higher high. But where exactly can we bounce from this zone? Like I said, we're not just going to randomly bounce from here. So if I go down to a lower time frame, what can I see? Well, if we look for POIs within here, right, we're looking for up to down moves. They are areas of demand in our uptrend. So you can see, right, we had a nice up to down move here, up to down move here, and then we broke structure. So this is zooming on the lower time frame, seeing where was the demand within this zone that pushed price higher, where can we come back into, fill in those orders, and then continue higher. So we've identified those two areas. Now let's refine them. So we had this up to down break structure here, and then we had this up to down break of structure here. Why is this one significantly better? This one is already mitigated. We can see prices broke it, filled in all those orders, and continued higher. We can see all these orders here that push price higher. This zone here is completely fresh. Price has not yet returned into it. So this is a great area for what? Price to come down to, give you your confirmation and continue higher. Now, if you know you have your confirmation here, it's a lot more likely to be a winning trade. If you get your confirmation somewhere random, like up here or up here, when it's not in an area where you're expecting it to be, you're likely going to get faked out, and then price is going to continue lower before we get there and move higher. So now we've identified this area of demand here, which is unmitigated, and it was responsible for helping us cause this break of structure. When we go back to the higher time frame, let's play that out. Look at that. This demand zone that we found ends up being the exact area that puts in the higher low, that makes the higher high. This is not random. It's not price that randomly decided to come to this level and bounce. It came to fill that demand zone we filled, fill in those orders, use that to push it higher. Now, exact same thing in a downtrend. So let's see what we have here. You can see price is trending lower. So first we want to see is a POS, break structure, boom. Protected high up here. We can draw a zone from here to here. Now I'm looking for liquidity sweep. We left the zone, we tapped back in, we move lower. So this is my liquidity. So now when I'm looking for my area of supply within here, my POI, I know that it has to be above this liquidity. Anything below this liquidity is stupid, because if we're going to take this out, why would I look for shorts before we take this out? So let's now go to a lower time frame, such as the 1 minute. Now between this high and this low, what areas of supply do we have? Right, we can see we had, it's a bit messy, but we had this area of consolidation here. Let me mark it. This. Boom. You can see that we left it, we filled in these orders, and we pushed lower. So not really anything unmitigated here. It doesn't make sense to price or reject here. We have this area of consolidation here now, right? Area of consolidation caused a big drop breaker structure, and guess what? Still fresh. Price hasn't come and reached our mitigation levels. So we can use this as a POI. So when we go back to the 15-minute, we know that we can also see here, right? Consolidation before a big drop, price hasn't come back into it. This is a valid area. If it happens, let's say in this area here where we saw is already mitigated, it's likely going to be a fake flip and we shouldn't take it. But if we get confirmation in here, this is A+. This is a high probability area for price to reject. You can see we can mitigate that area perfectly, and then we start to push lower. So this would be the perfect place for you to get into your sells, not a random area. So yeah, thank you for always watching. I appreciate any likes, any subscribes, any questions you have, or any videos you do want me to make, feel free to drop it in the comment section below. I have a premium Discord. You can watch me live stream my trading every single day, get access to my course. The link is in that. And I also am doing a one-on-one mentorship where I will work with you one-on-one for life until we get you to exactly where you want to be. So if you're interested in that as well, you can join the free Discord. Link is in the description, and there's a channel in there to sign up for that. But yeah, appreciate you as always. Catch you in the next video.